Happy New Year! Let's hope 2021 gets better. We are starting off the year with a makeover. I got Natalie in the chair, and we're starting off with the brows and using some Benefit products. This is goof proof in 4.5, a nice cold color to go in and even out all the tan in the brows. And I'm just using the rest of the product on the brush when I'm fitting towards the front of the brow. And we want the tail of the brows to be nice and dark, so they're just like super sharp, and in the front of the brows it's just like fading out to his skin. After that we took Gimme Brow to give some life to the hairs, give some tint. And after that we are going in with 24-hour brows that are also from Benefit to make sure all the hairs stay down all day. And to really make these brows sharp, we went in with some concealer. I used P. Louise base, and I used the one in 2 and 3. It depended where I wanted it to be. Under the brows, I used shade 2 to have it a little lighter, so it will highlight the area. This is the brow step that really makes the biggest difference for me, guys. It's just making them so neat. And if you get product where you don't want it, just go back in with your brow pomade and dab it on where you want it, and then go back in with concealer again. Then you fix it. And make sure to blend it all out evenly so you have no patches or stripes anywhere. You want an even base. On the top of the brows we are doing the exact same thing, especially in the tail of the brows. You have to be more careful with the product in the front, so I always start in the tail and then I bring it forward to the front of the brows with the rest of the product on the brush. Using that same concealer, I'm going in and priming the whole lid, so we have a nice sticky base to put on eyeshadow. P. Louise, it's just a really good, nice base for eyeshadows. So if you need to use a concealer, make sure it's a sticky one, because otherwise it won't work. You can also just use an eye primer if you prefer. And for the eyeshadows, we wanted a halo eye where it's like in nude, brown, warm, burnt tones. So I'm just starting out by building up the color and using a very light blendable shade first. And then I'm going in with a deeper burnt orange afterwards. When I start out by getting a lighter color in first, then you just have a nice shade to blend out the deeper colors in to the natural skin. So it's just a helping trick. You can also start off by putting on the deeper colors and going lighter and lighter. I just feel like I have more control when I start with the lighter shades and build it up with the dark ones. It can't really go that wrong as long as you make sure to blend out here and there, so you don't have any harsh lines. You want it all to be neat and nicely faded. And as you see here, I'm mostly concentrating the color in a triangle in both sides of the eyes and leave the middle empty, so you have space for some lighter shades there. It just gives some good dimension for the halo eye. And then for the middle of the lid, really to give that shine, we're going in with a very light golden, shimmery, metallic base. And then we are going to pop on some glitter later on. But it really just makes the eye pop that the middle is so bright. And the sides does have some dimension. And I'm just deepening up the color in the sides with some darker browns. And again, you see I'm mostly concentrating it in the center of the triangle I've been making, and afterwards I'm blending out from there. Just always make sure to start with a little product and work your way up from there. You can always add more. That's a good thing about makeup. It's just hard to take it away again if you add too much, so be careful with that. And to bring the lower lash line together with the lid, we are just dragging that darker colors over the whole lash line. And for the glitter, we are popping up on top of the middle of the lid. I'm first adding some primer from NYX and then going on top with NYX Crystal glitter. This is the most intense glitter I've ever been working with, because it is so holographic, so it really shines through anything, I tell you. Most of the time when you see me working with glitter or adding any glitter to a look, this is the one. It's just so intense, and it's because it's so holographic, so it can shine through anything. And also in pictures, it's not very often it complements the glitter, but this one, it's intense. Try it. And now really to connect the lid with the brows, I'm bringing the color up with some lighter shades, and I'm just fading it in so it's nice and seamlessly blended. And then I'm adding a little bit more of the darker tones and blending it together with the bottom lash line so everything is connected. And taking a wipe, we are going to get rid of the excess of the fallout from the shadows and the glitter, so we have a nice and clean skin again. And while Natalie is bringing her lashes to life with some mascara from L'Oreal, I'm getting ready with the Date Night lashes from Dove Lashes, some of my own favorites as well. She brought her own. You can reuse them many times and they just keep being beautiful, so you need to check out that brand. I love it so much, and they have a big range of different kinds, so there is one for every type of eye or any type of occasion. You basically put on a little bit of glue on the band and then you wait till it's sticky and pop on the lash in the middle, and then you take the outer corners afterwards. It takes a little practice, but you will get there. I'm blending a little bit more with a big clean fluffy brush. And then for priming the skin, we're using NYX Moisturizing Primer. It's just a good moisturizing everyday cream and it smells like a dream. So check that out. I use it myself every day, not necessarily for priming the skin, but just to have a good moisturized face. Next up for the skin, I'm going in with a foundation from MAC called Mineralize Moisture. So it does what it says, it moisturizes the skin and it evens out the tones so nicely. And it's just a beautiful everyday foundation. It just gives that healthy, glowy, dewy skin. It's a lightweight foundation and it's also very good for a dry skin. Grabbing that concealer from P. Louise, again we are going in and highlighting the face, and we are using the shade number 3. And then just for the center part on the under eye, we are going in with the shade in number 2. It just goes in and brighten up the middle part a bit more, so you have that very highlighted under eye and it's very concealed and covered. And I go in with a little bit of product on the nose and the nose bridge, and also a little bit on the chin. And if you got some spots you want covered, then just go in with some product, the concealer on top of that, and let it sit for some minutes. It just makes the product thicker and it just brings the pigment in more intense. And after that you can just blend it out as you would normally with a damp sponge. Normally I'm just taking some setting spray to wet it with and then blend it all out evenly. With that same sponge I'm going into the under eye and making sure everything is evenly blended as well. And for the waterline I'm going in with a totally black eyeliner from NYX and just drag it all the way through to the other side. And I'm going back in with a dark brown eyeshadow and a little bit of black and blending it from one side to the other on the lower lash line. She wanted it very smoky and dark. Just make sure you're blending it all out afterwards underneath, and you can use a little bit of loose powder to set everything underneath the eye as well. And now that we got the eyes ready, we got the base ready, then we go in with the lips. And we start out by lining the lips with MAC Whirl lip liner. It's a smooth, nice nude color and it just goes on so seamlessly. The idea with that is just to have a nice base for our liquid lipstick to blend nicely into. And for the other shade we are using KKV, Kylie Cosmetics Collaboration Liquid Lipstick. We're using the one called Kimberly. It's the one that is a true nude. and the other ones is like peachy or pinky, but this one is just like a completely nude, and I'm just blending it out together with the lip liner. And the good thing about this one is you can build it up in the pigment, so you can like decide yourself how intense you want it, and also it's very creamy in the finish. And to finish up the lips, we can go back in with the P. Louise concealer and just mix a perfect base fitting for the skin next to the lips, and then you can really make them sharp and define the lips so nicely. And now we need to finish our face. And I'm going in to contour, but I'm not putting it right on top of where you have the bone here, but I'm putting it a little bit above, because then you lift up the face instead of dragging it down. And from there I'm starting to building it up on her temples and also a little bit on her forehead and under the chin. But exactly like the eyeshadow, I'm just taking a little amount of product at a time and then building it up. And for the contour we used Hoola from Benefit, and this is also from Benefit, called California. It's a blush. It smells so good. It smells like a dream. It makes the whole palette so nice to open just for this one. And with the blush, if you want to help it lift the face, then place it a little bit above where you have your apple cheeks when you smile, because if you place it right on top of that, when you don't smile anymore, it will drag down the product with it. So place it a little bit above and you will help it lift the face. And for highlighting the face, I'm going in with NYX Diamond and Ice palette. It's basically my favorite these days. And I'm just going in the inner corner of the eyes and under the brow. And then I'm basically taking the highest points of the face to really make it shine bright like a diamond. But not too much, just a little bit of product at a time. I really hope you enjoyed the video and show some love. It really motivates a girl in a hard time. Finishing up with some dewing setting spray and time for the montage.